What's up there, festive holiday fluff bombs? It's your boy Lurks here. What could possibly be more awesome than actually turning into your persona? Well, it might actually kind of suck. That's right, it's every furry's dream to actually become your persona. What if you could click your heels together 3 times, wave a magic wand, or utter some magical incantation, and suddenly, poof, you were your persona. Sounds pretty cool, right? Okay, so for the purpose of this video, we're not talking about a situation like Zootopia where the whole world revolved around anthropomorphic animals. We're talking about a situation where you became an anthropomorphic animal right here in our earthly world. So what could possibly not be so great about being your persona? Well, there's about 5 different things that I'm going to talk about. And don't worry, maybe we'll make a video in the future about 5 things that would be awesome about becoming your persona, because there would be a lot of cool things about it too. So the first thing not cool about becoming a human animal type thing would be discrimination. Yeah, not everybody is going to love you or accept you, and some people are going to flat out hate you for being different. I mean, humans are horrible at being racist against each other for minor differences in skin color. While a lot of people out there would be accepting and would think it was pretty awesome that you were an animal person, well, a lot of people just wouldn't. I mean, think of your racist, homophobic Uncle Ed who you dread spending the holidays with. Uncle Ed ain't gonna be cool with a walking, talking giant fox. Just saying. Now, civil rights laws as they're written right now probably wouldn't protect you from discrimination. Would you be able to get a job? Would you be able to go eat in a restaurant? Could people tell you to go away because you're a freak? Now, in this day and age, you would hope there would be a good percentage of people who would be cool with you. But, yeah, there's going to be a percentage who would definitely not be cool to you. Okay, thing number 2 that might kind of suck about becoming your persona. Clothing. Now, the first question we have to talk about is, would you actually need clothing? Well, I guess that depends on what you got going on down there. Now, in terms of my characters, they're very much cartoon characters. Babies just pop out of nowhere. You can eat and drink whatever you want. You never have to use the bathroom. There's just nothing going on down here. No concerns about people seeing things that might offend them or, leaving skid marks on the furniture or anything else. We're just kind of like troll dolls. But if your persona had parts down there, like a lot of people's personas do, you'd probably have to wear at least some minimal amount of clothing to cover those up, like these lovely tie-dye underpants. So here's the problem with that. You couldn't just walk down to Walmart or to your local mall and get clothing for an anthropomorphic animal. A lot of things would be different, especially your tail, Digitalgrade legs, things like that would cause issues. Now, we'll use this lovely piece of art from Sylvixen Illustrations to talk about this point. Here we see Riv wearing his green shorts. So pants would be a challenge with Digitalgrade legs. You can see his shorts have a cutout for the tail and a little buckle that goes over the top of the tail. Now, Lurks, on the other hand, is showing a different solution to this. He's got these loose-fitting, kind of flowy silk pants that just sort of flow over the curves of the Digitalgrade. And that would work too. Either way, you're not going to find these types of things in the store. You're going to have your clothes custom tailored, and it's going to be expensive. Number 3, if I fits, I sits. Well, you're not going to fit on a whole lot of seats. Furniture is going to be an issue when you have a tail. Most of us, unless you're a hamster persona, are going to have some variety of tail that's going to get in the way with the normal human furniture. Now, in terms of chairs, there certainly are some options that have holes in the back where you can sort of slide your tail through. You could make do. You just have to look around and buy furniture that would work for you. Couches, recliners, on the other hand, wouldn't be that comfortable. You'd kind of have to sit sideways. And let's talk about transportation. Trains, planes, and automobiles. Who's going to drive you home tonight? Better hope it's somebody with an SUV and you can sit in the back where there's not going to be a seatbelt for you, because Your tail is not going to fit on a car seat. Your tail is not going to fit on a seat in any public transportation either. Imagine an 8-hour plane ride, sitting forward in the seat, scrunched in there, trying to keep from crushing your tail. That would not be pleasant. It would take away a lot of opportunities for travel because you just couldn't do so comfortably. Now, the fourth thing to talk about is all the attention you would get, both positive and negative attention. Now, the positive attention would probably be kind of fun at first if you liked attention. If you were introverted and didn't like attention, it would suck immediately. Everyone would be interested in you. Everyone would be looking at you. Everyone would want to meet you and talk to you and find out what you were. You would definitely be the center of attention wherever you went. Now, kind of like a poppy fur walking around a furry convention, getting stopped every 2 minutes for pictures, it would get old after a while. Some people would probably be really into you and want to do things with you that you may or may not want to do. I mean, how much would your attraction change if you were half human and half animal? Would you only be attracted to beings like yourself at that point? Would you no longer be attracted to humans and not want to do some of the things that they would probably want to do with you? Something to consider. Now, as we talked about a little bit before, there would be a lot of negative attention too. People with differences still to this day get stared at and talked about behind their backs, and it's hurtful to them when that happens. Imagine being an anthropomorphic animal. People would be staring at you constantly. The stares, the muttering, kids pointing at you, you'd kind of be treated like a freak, and that would not be a whole lot of fun. I guarantee you it would get old real quick. And the last thing to talk about from a practical perspective is what happens if you get sick or injured. Who's going to take care of you? There would be no real medical understanding of what's going on inside you. Things that would be perfectly fine for humans might end up being poisonous for you. Foods, medicines, you just wouldn't know because you'd be genetically different. I mean, you'd be part animal and part human. That's the only way this could ever really happen, although we're talking about a total fantasy situation. Your anatomy would be different. Medical doctors wouldn't really understand what's going on. Veterinarians wouldn't really understand what's going on. It would be difficult if you got sick to get a diagnosis and to get a proper treatment. Your internal organs might be different. Your blood type, if you needed a blood transfusion or something like that, forget about it. There's not going to be any compatible blood or fluids like that or plasma or anything that you're going to get from a human that's going to work with something that's not quite human. You know, treating some injuries would be pretty straightforward. I mean, it would be just like a doctor or a vet treating a sprain or a broken bone or something. That would probably be fine, but if you really got ill, you know, chances are you could die from something that normally wouldn't kill a person or maybe not even a pet, just because the understanding wouldn't be there. And that's a little bit scary, isn't it? So let me know down in the comments, what do you think? Would the good outweigh the bad? Would you still want to become your persona, to become an anthropomorphic animal? As for me, I'm not really sure at this point. I think I'd kind of just rather stay human and dress up like my persona or get artwork of my persona and not actually magically be my persona if I could take a pill and do that. I think the complications would be a lot worse than some people realize and maybe just not quite worth it. I mean, sure, it would be awesome in some ways, but in a lot of ways, it might just kind of suck. All right, that's my 2 cents on that. And speaking of 2 cents, if you would like to support this channel, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Our patrons are all super awesome, and you can be one too. Check the link in the description. There's also some t-shirts and other merch down there. Stay fuzzy, stay unfuzzy, do what you want. Just have an awesome week. Happy holidays. We'll see you next time. Later.